only one lucky warrior would choose the pot that would make him win the tournament, that would make him the next Onu, the river priestess announced. Nervously, each warrior picked a calabash, each, including Ejura. Once upon a time lived a king who loved to share stories. Princess Inikpi sacrificed her life to save the Igala kingdom from the Bini warriors during the reign of Ata Ayiba Omaidoko, Onu Oguche announced to his seventh and last daughter Ejura, always eager to listen to his tales. She was always with her father and was the closest child as well. Oh father, I want to be a warrior and save our village just like Inikpi. From that day, Princess Inikpi's story of her selflessness and love for her people inspired Ejura. She made up her mind she was going to be a warrior. Unlike her sisters whose dreams were to be married and become queens or wives of chiefs, Ejura wanted to defend her village from bandit attacks so common in her village for many years, and most of all, win the tournament that would determine the next Onu. Onu Oguche had no male child to inherit the throne, and as such there would be a tournament among young men willing to inherit the throne. It was so strange to see a female warrior, and worst of all, one who probably would compete for the throne. Her sisters made mockery of her. Her mother was unhappy with her decision. Why don't you marry Ojonimi, the only son of Onoja, who loves you dearly? Raise children for him and be a queen just like you were created to be, her mother would say sadly. Ejura had a lot of backlash from the community, especially from the men who were warriors. It was a big insult on their part. Ejura would practice on her own. Her father Onu Oguche and her childhood friend Ojochenemi supported her. The Onu thought it was the will of the gods. Perhaps she was meant to be the next Onu. Ejura always practiced in the forest. Yes, she always did. Night and day, she was determined. Go get married, Ejura, her sisters would always mock. When Onu Oguche saw his daughter's determination, he asked his best warriors to train her. The villagers thought the king was affected by old age and so did not know what he was doing. Yet, no one there questioned him. Years had passed and Onu Oguche was getting older. The tournament would help determine the next king and Ejura was going to participate. The king and the village seer had approved for his daughter to participate, to everyone's surprise. Ejura's childhood friend Ojochenemi was a good storyteller. He was not a warrior. He would tell her stories while she practiced in the forest. This made her happy. Ojochenemi was a very wise man. He stood by her all these years and one could tell these two were beyond friends. The tournament would begin with the participants journeying to the great river to see the river priestess. One lucky warrior would choose a pot. This pot was a gift from the great river priestess that would guarantee his success. A test of true leadership it was called. Ejura was the only female competitor among them. They laughed at her and did not find her a worthy competitor. You are just an insect before elephants. Like an elephant, I would crush you, Abalaka mocked. Abalaka was the strongest of the warriors and he hated Ejura the most. In all the mockery, Ejura always ignored them. They arrived before the great river priestess and she asked them to choose a calabash each. Among the different sizes of calabashes arranged, all others chose bigger calabash except Ejura. If the river priestess was powerful as claimed, surely her powers would not be limited by size. Ejura chose a small calabash. You have chosen wisdom. A wise leader can conquer mighty kings, the priestess said, but she warned her not to tell anyone. Each one of the other warriors was told the content of their calabash and was also warned to keep their content secret by the priestess. You should break your pot first thing tomorrow. When they arrived the village, All the other warriors, including Abalaka, was excited for each one had picked a bigger calabash and was told the contest in each pot was strength, except Ejura, who chose wisdom. Each one thought the magic calabash would give them all the strength they needed to win the tournament. The next market day was the D-Day, and they stopped preparing. In fact, every other warrior believed he was the only one that picked strength and believed it was the ultimate needed to win. It was a secret and no one knew the contest in each other's calabash. It was a day to the tournament and they drank to stupor. They believed so much in the magic pot for strength. Of course, Ejura was an exception. She had chosen the path to wisdom. The next morning, the contest had begun, and like a fearless lioness, Ejura pounced on her prey. She attacked them with wisdom. One by one, she brought every man to his knees. These men had underestimated the insects indeed. At the end, Ejura was announced winner to the surprise of the villagers. Ejura won the trust of the villagers. She married Ojo Chenemi and together they ruled the village. She led the warriors to victory over the bandits that disturbed her village for years. Ejura became a legend among her people. She was a symbol of strength and courage. Yes, Ejura and Ojo Chenemi had a beautiful family. When you put passion to hard work, nothing stops you irrespective of your gender. Tell me what you have learned. Respect to the legendary Princess Inikpi of Igala tribe. Please subscribe for more stories. Ejura, the warrior princess.